Okay, nerds. This I believe is the last round for this. The last video for this round of reactions. Sorry, brain is two different places. We're doing Run the Jewels. Hip hop is a genre that I feel like I haven't had the best history with as far as these reaction videos go, but I feel like with the new format, maybe that will change. Also, this video or this song at least has Zach De La Rocha in it, so we're going to be doing that. Yeah, all of that said, we've got a formality. All right. History with Run the Jewels. So I honestly think I've only ever heard one Run the Jewels record or one Run the Jewels song even. I put them on a YouTube playlist or something, and that I was probably editing at the time, so I probably only half listened to it even. So very little exposure to Run the Jewels directly. However, I do like Killer Mike. I think Killer Mike is pretty talented. I really appreciate the group that he comes from. He is part of the Dungeon Crew, which is where we get CeeLo Green and Outkast and the like. So pretty well exposed there, because Outkast is one of my favorite hip hop groups. And CeeLo has an amazing voice, so like I've been exposed to Killer Mike. LP, however, the other rapper in Run the Jewels, I honestly don't really know much about at all. So I'm even looking at their wiki here. Let's pull up LP's wiki because he has a page apparently. LP, Jaime Melanie. Better known by the stage name LP, shortened from El Producto, an American rapper, musician, songwriter, originally a member of Company Flow. I don't know who Company Flow is either. So, yeah, interesting. I don't know exactly how he met up with Killer Mike. Yeah, no, it doesn't say how they met up. It just says that they're both, it started in Atlanta, because that's where Killer Mike's from. So, yeah, I got nothing. He is a producer, apparently, so the production on this, I bet, is going to be pretty fantastic. Yeah, so that's my history and a little bit of history of the group. Disclaimer, because we're about to get into the song. This is not a video where we're just going to sit back and watch and listen to the song. We're actually going to watch the art video from their YouTube channel and not the lyric video, because the art video has me a little bit more intrigued. So we're not just going to sit back and watch it. We're not just going to sit back and listen to it. I'm going to stop it, going to probably replay sections, less so probably for a hip-hop video, but still we're going to stop it and we're going to talk over it and we're going to do things. We're going to talk about the production of the song, the performance of the song, and potentially some production of the video for it as well, because this is an art video. So that being said, if you want to listen to the original song, go listen to the original song. This is not the place to do that. If you want to watch the original video, go listen to the original or watch the original video, because this is not the place where we're going to be just doing that. If I get another freaking comment about, man, why do you talk so much? It's because we're analyzing the things that are going on the screen and in our ears. That being said, that's your fair warning. So, expectations for this. I really don't know what to expect because I have such a limited exposure to Run the Jewels directly. So, I do know Killer Mike has been very political recently, so much so that he has a series on Netflix about his politics. I think it'll be interesting. I mean, Zach De La Rocha is on this track too, so very likely there's going to be some politics brought into this, so we might talk a little bit of politics, and that might alienate some of you people, because I would be willing to bet that my politics don't line up with yours, at least in some ways. That being said, I expect this, again, to be very well produced track. I probably am going to like it. Like, I expect to enjoy it, because the little bit of exposure I have to these guys, I fully enjoyed. So, and Zach De La Rocha is fantastic, even if his politics are broken. So, Yeah. I think that's all we've got for expectations. Let's do the thing and talk about the stuff. Also, please don't assume that because I'm critical of something that I dislike it. Being critical of something gives you the vocabulary to defend it. It gives you the vocabulary to potentially make improvements on your own art. If you can be critical of somebody else and justify your critical assessment, then that should theoretically help you make your art better because you know where others have done things that you would do differently, I guess is a political way to put that. So yeah, let's do this and then we'll do this. Art video.
Mastered economics cause you took yourself from squalor. Slave. Mastered academics cause your grace said you were scholar. Slave. Mastered.
All right, so we already have one production thing. Oh, come on. My computer is just being a pain in the butt. There we go. Paused. Okay. We're going to have to go back and talk about that lyric too. So, I know I keep hearing it break. I thought I had my microphone at a proper place where it wasn't going to break, but apparently not. So, we have an issue, a production issue right here. Sorry, I was derailed from a couple of different things. We have a production issue here because the bass is so heavy. Where is it? Doom. Right there. So, because the bass is so heavy, we're going to go back and listen. There is another instrument being played somewhere in here, but because the compression on the bass is so much, actually it's the compression on the song. That compression is not ducking properly for the other instrument, so it's creating a little bit of an audio mess.
Mastered academics cause your grace said you were scholar. Mastered Instagram cause you can instigate a follow. Look at.
So it's less pronounced than it sounded initially, but it's still there. There's the bass itself. You can hear the volume become less when that percussion kicks in because they over compressed it. If you compress the instrument individually and not the song as a whole, when you're trying to accent those bottom end frequencies, you'll usually get a better outcome. It sounds like this one, they compressed the whole song again after they've already compressed the individual instruments, and it kind of has a weird ducking thing. I really like that tone, though.
Cause you took yourself from squalor. Mastered academics cause your grace said you were scholar. Mastered.
See, you can hear it the best when you get that roll because you hear the bass kind of dip off faster than it does otherwise.
Instagram cause you can instigate a follow. Look at all these slave masters posing on your dollar. Get it? Yeah. Look at all these slave masters posing on your dollar. Get it?
There's Killer Mike right there.
Slave masters posing on your dollar. Get it? Look at all these slave masters.
So now you can hear it even better because that I would venture, and I don't know because I didn't mix the song, but that bass line, that really bottom heavy, is not as loud now that we have a full instrument panel going on. So that now that there's other things besides just that the kick drum, the 808 drum, and the snare, whatever that was, the bass is noticeably lower in the mix, and I bet they didn't pull the volume down. I bet that's all because of how it was compressed. Just based on all of the things, when it's just the bass by itself, you still hear those peaks. I think this was just compressed poorly. Hey, look, there's Zach.
I'm on mine. I be minding mine. Every time.
All right, so here's it. I'm gonna walk that back slightly. I don't think it was the whole song. I think what they did was they compressed all of the music for the song individually, like they did all the individual instruments, and then they did a master bus mix of just the instruments, and then compressed that bus. And then they recorded the vocals over the top of it. So all of the compression issues exist in the instruments because the vocals sound just fine.
On my grind, I'm just trying to shine. Make $1, government, they want a dozen dime. The petty kind might kill you cause they see you shine. I done had to have a talk with myself plenty times. Am I a hypocrite cause I know I did plenty crime. I get broke too many times, I might slang some dimes. You believe corporations running marijuana.
A sharp, in case you were wondering. Or B flat, whatever.
Pedophile sponsor all these fucking racist bastards. And I told you once before that you should kill your master. Now that's the line that's probably gonna get my ass assassinated. Master of these politics, you swear that you got options. Master of opinion, cause you vote with the white collar.
So it sounds, I really like all of the elements here. It's just that one compression issue that's throwing me off a little bit, and I feel like it's kind of, now I'm getting used to it, so I'm hearing it a little bit less, but it's definitely there. I really like the way everything was put together, though. All of these pieces fit very well.
The 13th Amendment says that slavery's abolished. Yeah. Look at all these slave masters posing on your dollar. Get it? Look at all these slave masters posing on your...
To correct that statement that they just made, the 13th Amendment says that slavery is abolished, except for in prisons. So if you are in prison, you are technically a slave of the state. Just a thing.
Your dollar. Get it? Look at all these slave masters posing on your dollar. Get it? Look at all these slave masters posing on your dollar. Get it? Look at all these slave masters.
Confucius say, man, you better thug out, get the bag and the bug out. Try to run home, you might run your luck out.
Ooh, switching it up a little bit with the rhythm there.
Earth folk, not a mellow bunch. We got our thumbs in the air like hella bust. Look at who we done blessed with our trust. I don't think we'll be left with too much. Hand on my heart, on my mind, on my drugs. Got a vodka punch for your Atlas shrug. Love or not love, it's just that dumb. Lord, sweet Buddha, please make me numb. Rain bounce off walls like a Scythian Roomba. Just found out it's created stupid. Lit by the super moon or too lucid. Plus got shrooms in the blood, I'm fooling. BP, Richie, this is New York City. The X on the map with a pain keep in it. Just us ducks here shitting. When murderous choco cops still earning a living. Funny how some say...
We're not gonna get it. We're not gonna get into crime statistics and why all of this is so misdirected. We're just gonna talk about the music. I promise.
Money don't matter, that's rich now, in it. Get it? Comedy. Try to sell packets, supposed to get food, get killed. It's not an anomaly. Hey, it's just money.
Mastered economics, cause you took yourself from squalor. Mastered academics, cause your grace said you a scholar. Mastered Instagram, cause you can instigate a follow. Yeah. Look at all these slave masters. Let it sink in. 2020, run the map. Raw one cut in my hourglass. Don't watch it spill to the bottom half. You see the piece, now run it fast.
That's Zach right there.
C4 when I run it back like a track star on a record lap. Nah, like when it's needle catch. Clean look, poor pugilist. A shooter's view is a brutal flick. Too rude for you rude.
God, he's such a good lyricist. Like I love Zach De La Rocha's ability to turn a phrase. I wish he would use that college education instead of telling everyone that they should and how to rebel based off of what his social studies teacher taught him in not social studies. I'm not going to sound completely ignorant. Based on what his liberal arts, I think is what he majored in. I could be mistaken. Based on what his liberal arts teacher says is rebellion. I wish he would take that and just write about something more something that happened to him personally. This is a man that has lived a life of comfort. Zach De La Rocha was not a poor child. So, like, when he talks about these things, about how oppressed he is, I don't buy it. But I love the lyricism. I love how his flow is abrasive, but in all of the right ways. It's like listening to Zach De La Rocha throw rhymes, just talk when he's in rhythm, and all of that is like listening to a great Dillinger Escape Plan song for me, because like there is abrasiveness there, but it's purposeful and it's intentful, and it works. There is impact. I just can't get behind his politics. I feel like he's misinformed, but that's just me.
Who convinced you can move against the crew in this? Coming up through the fence. Offshore at a port of
prince. Overture left his fingerprints on the hearts of the gate in the world of residence. How can we be the peace when the beast gonna reach for the worst? Tear all the flesh of the earth. Stay set from a deafening reckoning, quick like the pace of a verse. So I'm questioning this quest for things is a recipe for early death threatening.
Listen
But the
to-
fact of me is weapon.
Listen to the rhyme scheme here.
Clean look, port pugilist. A shooter's view is a brutal flick. Too rude for you rudiments. Who convinced you can move against the crew in this? Coming up through the fence. Offshore at a Port-au-Prince. Overture left his fingerprints on the hearts of the gate in the world of residence. How can we be the peace when the beast
Oh, it's so good.
Tear all the flesh of the earth. Stay set from a deafening reckoning, quick like the pace of a verse. So I'm questioning this quest for things is a recipe for early death threatening. But the breath of me is weaponry for you is just money.
It's amazing. Like even with the politics in this song that I cannot believe or get into or get behind, it's amazing. And please don't take any of these statements to mean that I don't believe that anyone should have a voice. I believe everyone should have a voice. I believe the internet is proof that everyone has a voice, and also proof that not all of those voices deserve to be heard. But that has nothing to do with the color of your skin. It has everything to do with the content of your brain. This is such a good tune. Like, yeah, aside from that one production issue that I have with it, because when the rest of the instruments kick in for the majority of the song, it becomes less of an issue because the ducking is constant. So it's not riding inside my ears. It's not sitting in the back of my head going, why is the bass falling so fast only in these certain parts? So yeah, I dug it. I dig Killer Mike. I don't think I've ever heard anything Killer Mike do as a bad song. I think everything I've heard him on is good. I haven't heard anything extensive from him. Like, I don't think I've ever listened to a full record that he has put out. I do like Run the Jewels. This is good stuff, man. We're not going to talk too much more politics. I'm sorry I keep bringing it up. I love it. I think this is good quality, and this is the way you bring about conversation in the music world. The best way to bring about conversation in the music world, and then to actually have those conversations after the fact, and not just scream somebody down until they stop talking to you because they might disagree with what you have to say. Which I don't think Killer Mike does. I think even though he does have some political views that I think need a little bit more research, or at least need proper research, I still think he's the kind of guy that actually has conversations. Again, not super well versed with what he has done. Like on the Netflix show, I'm only aware that the Netflix show exists. I've not listened to any of the arguments that he makes on the Netflix show. I can only imagine exactly what that is. So but I appreciate that he is trying to raise awareness on things that he thinks are issues, and things that are legitimately issues, just the solutions we might disagree on. So it's all a matter of perspective. I realize this, and I love the music that he makes. I think this Cat LP that he's doing Run the Jewels with has some sort of brilliance in his head as well, especially from a production standpoint. That was very well crafted, aside from the one issue that I had with it. Overall, the elements together worked very well. It's just the sound of the elements once you combine them with that compressor. Yeah, I dig it. I think this is a good one. I should put more Run the Jewels on my hip-hop playlists. I probably actually am going to do that next time I open up my Spotify. So, that being said, thank you, nerds, very, very much. What did you think of the song? What did you think of my analysis thereof? Please, let's not get into too much politics. I don't want to have that conversation in the comments. But I do want to talk about the production on this song. Do you hear the ducking at the beginning, like I was trying to point out? And is it all in my head? Or do you agree that this is a fantastic song otherwise? I really love, especially the De La Rocha verse. Man, he is such an amazing lyricist and vocalist just in general. Like, everything that Zach has done, I don't think I've disliked. The Street Sweeper, what was it? Street Sweeper Social, I think. It was something like that. That was good stuff. Man, so great music all around. And Yeah. What did I miss about it, though? Let's talk about that in the comments section. And don't forget, there's a website you've been staring at this whole time, generallynerdy.net, patreon.com/generallynerdy, if you want to support a little bit more directly. Just a subscription, though, is really all that is all I need. You know what I mean? Like, the subscriptions go the longest way. Like, sure, a couple of bucks through Patreon is awesome, or if you go purchase one of the nerdy shirts from the general store on the website, then that's also awesome. But if you just subscribe, honestly, and come back and interact with the videos, that's the biggest thing. So thank you, nerds, very, very much. Right about now, there's boxes. You can check out other stuff that's going on right here on the channel. This one right here is the full playlist, the main playlist that has everything on the channel. This one here is just the reactions playlist. And that right there, is the subscription box. So don't forget to click that if you're new to the channel. Thank you very much, nerds, for joining me in my reaction analysis. Tune in next time. I don't have exactly what video is going to be on the next one because that will be the first video of the next round. I have a whole giant list, so I will go through that. We'll talk about it, and thank you, nerds. Before we go, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.